Many believers are praying, but quietly panicking in the dark before dawn. You stand to begin Fajr, and your heart races, not because you don't love Allah, but because you don't know the exact order. Your mind starts shouting questions at the very moment your tongue should be steady. Did I recite properly? Was there another surah now or later? Ruku already or wait? One sujood or two? And the panic makes you rush, freeze, or restart unnecessarily. Without realizing it, you are letting sequence confusion steal your peace. Today, I want to show you something that can completely change your spiritual life: clarity of order. Fajr confidence is not a mood. It is the fruit of knowing exactly what comes next. When you know the order, your mind stops scrambling, your chest releases the tightness, and khushu, presence of heart, can finally settle. Confusion is not humble. It is costly. It drains your focus, makes you second guess, and turns a simple 2-cycle worship into a mental maze. Guard your mind like a warrior. Answer the whisper with authority. I am not guessing. I am following a map. Never rush, never assume, never build your prayer on guesswork. Worship is not a freestyle. It is a precise submission. Order is mercy. Sequence is safety. Clarity is spiritual stability. Think of a pilot at dawn. No one trusts a pilot who goes by feel on takeoff. There is a checklist. There is a sequence. There is calm because there is order. Your Fajr deserves the same discipline, step by step, every single morning, until it becomes second nature. Here is the expectation. This is not a vibe guide. This is a procedural map. We will lay out the exact sequence, how to prepare correctly before you stand, what happens in each rak'ah in order, and how to guard your mind from panic when a doubt tries to interrupt you. You will be trained to recover without collapsing. No spiraling, no restarting unless required, no surrendering your peace to confusion. By the end, you will be able to name the sequence, perform it calmly, and correct yourself confidently if you forget something. Listen carefully. Anxiety is not leadership. Obedience is. When your brain knows the next step, your heart is freed to be present, your breath steadies, your recitation softens, your movements become deliberate. That is khushu supported by clarity. Most people don't realize it, but the battle is not in your legs or your tongue. It is in your thoughts. The whisper says, "What if you missed a part?" Faith answers, "I have an order. I will continue." The whisper says, "Start over right now." Wisdom answers, "Follow the rule, apply the recovery, keep your peace." So settle this in your spirit right now. Fajr confidence comes from clarity. Stop guessing and follow the exact order. If you will commit to the map we are about to walk through, your dawn will stop feeling like a test you fear and start feeling like a path you know. Your mind will be quiet, your worship will be steady, and your peace will finally stay. Before you stand, settle this in your spirit. A peaceful Fajr starts before the first Takbir. Prayer is not only words, it is obedience in order. Order begins in the dark, before your lips move, before your hands rise. Most people miss this. They try to fix inside the prayer what should have been secured before it. Never do that. Lock the foundation, and the structure stands without shaking. Here are the non-negotiables: time, purity, direction, clothing, space, intention. That is your pre-dawn checklist. First, the time. Do not step into Fajr until Fajr has entered. God does not operate on your anxious clock. If you are early, wait. Waiting is not losing. It is obedience. Second, Wudu. Come to the prayer with ablution done correctly. Wash deliberately, not hastily. If you know you broke your wudu, renew it. If your mind is inventing doubt without evidence, don't feed panic. Certainty is not erased by baseless suspicion. Third, covering the aura. Secure what must be covered before you face your Lord. Don't gamble with your garment. Check once, adjust, then forget it and focus. Fourth, Qibla. Face the direction of the Kaaba with care. Use the compass, align the mat, choose a marker. Do not guess when clarity is available. Fifth, cleanliness of place and clothes. Pray on what is clean, wear what is clean. Remove what should not be there. A clean body, a clean garment, a clean ground. Sixth, Niyyah. Place the intention in your heart. Quiet, firm, sincere. The sunnah is clear. No scripted sentence is required. You know what you are about to do. Set that intention within, and then proceed. Let me walk you through the calm version. You wake, you breathe, you check the time. Fajr has entered. You go straight to wudu. Water steady over your hands, mouth, nose, face, arms, head, ears, feet. Present, unhurried. You step to a clean spot you chose last night. No scavenger hunt in the dark. You align to the Qibla with a simple glance at your marker. You check your clothing once. You set your phone aside. You quiet your chest and say inside, "This is Fajr for Allah alone." Then you lift your hands. No drama, no improvisation, only order. Hear me. Preparation is not optional. It is worship. Don't try to make up for it later with more emotion in Ruku. That is not how obedience works. Never rush past the boundary and then hope passion will cover the gap. Boundaries exist because God is not the author of confusion. Order is mercy. Sequence is safety. And if something breaks in the moment, don't spiral. Correct it with knowledge, not fear. If you realize the time has not entered, stop, wait, then pray. If you remember you have no wudu, step out, perform wudu, begin again, calmly. If your covering slips, fix it and continue. If you discover an impurity on the spot, move to a clean area without collapsing into shame. If you are slightly off Qibla and you notice, turn to the correct direction and proceed. Panic breaks confidence. Calm correction restores it. Answer the whisper with authority. I follow the rule. I keep my peace. Start before you start. Build validity before beauty, and beauty will follow. When the foundation is secure, in your preparation, in your posture, in your intention, your Fajr becomes light, stable, and sincere. That is how peace greets you at dawn. Now hear me clearly. Your target is simple and specific. Fajr Fard is 2 rak'ahs, not 3, not 4, 2. And the goal today is not vague inspiration. It is the exact order from the first standing to the final salam. Think of this as your dawn blueprint, a map you can trace with your eyes closed. When you know the map, your chest calms. When you follow the map, your mind stops negotiating. Confidence grows because confusion has no room to speak. Here is the structure, like a blueprint you can sketch in your palm. Each rak'ah is a cycle with defined checkpoints. Standing, qiyam, bowing, ruku, rising to stand again, i'tidal. First prostration, sujood, sitting between the 2 prostrations, then second prostration, sujood. That is one cycle. Then you stand again and repeat the same pattern for rak'ah 2. The ending is specific. After the second sujood of the second rak'ah, you sit for Tashahud, complete it, and then end with Salam. 2 cycles, 1 finish line. Every shift between positions is marked by a deliberate transition. You move with takbir between most positions, and you rise from Ruku with praise, as we will detail next. Nothing is random. Everything has a place. Reduce the storm inside by naming the rhythm. You are not learning 1,000 things. You are learning one pattern repeated twice with a specific ending. Memorize it like a drum beat that steadies your steps. Stand, recite, bow, rise, prostrate, sit, prostrate, stand again, then sit for Tashahud, then Salam. That is your anchor. That is the sentence you whisper to your mind when the whisper tries to scatter you. Order brings oxygen. Sequence creates stillness. Let me give you a picture. 2 laps on the same track, same turns, same checkpoints, and a clear finish line. Lap 1, walk the markers in order. Lap 2, walk the same markers with stronger focus. Then you cross the line by sitting for Tashahud and sealing with Salam. The enemy of your peace is not the movement. It is the mental noise that claims this is complicated. Answer it with authority. It is not complicated. It is precise. I have a map. I will follow it. And this is how you protect your mind during the prayer. Treat each movement like a verified checkpoint. Do not skip. Do not stack. Do not improvise. If a doubt tries to barge in, do not restart in fear. Return to the map. Ask yourself, where am I in the cycle? Then take the next step in order. That is how you keep your peace. Now we will slow down and walk the first rak'ah step by step, standing, what you recite, how you bow, how you rise, how you place your forehead and your heart in sujood, slowly, in order, without skipping. Stay with me. The map is already in your hand. We are about to make it muscle memory. Begin at the start line. Stand straight with dignity. Balance your feet. Fix your gaze toward the place of sujood. Quiet your chest. Then raise your hands and say, Allahu Akbar. That takbir is the door. It is how you enter. When you cross that threshold, you let the world go. You are now in the prayer, present, intentional, guarded. Place your hands with composure, settle your shoulders, breathe once. Never rush past the door, enter with clarity. Now listen carefully. In Qiyam, while you are standing, the order is not negotiable. First, Al-Fatiha, then another surah or set of verses. That is the map for every rak'ah. Fatiha first, always. Do not swap. Do not improvise. Do not begin with a favorite surah and catch Fatiha later. Faith walks in order. Panic scrambles the order. Say Fatiha with reverence, verse by verse, steady and certain. When you finish Fatiha, pause briefly, then recite another surah you know well, short and clean if you are building confidence. Surah Al-Ikhlas, Al-Falaq, An-Nas, Al-Asr. Even a few ayat from a longer surah, recite it correctly, is better than chasing what you can't hold in your mouth under pressure. Let me coach your mind in the very moment the whisper tries to intrude. Doubt will say, start fast, get through it. You answer, never rush, never swap the order. My goal is correctness with calm. Doubt will say, you forgot a word, restart everything. You answer, no panic, I will correct and continue. If your tongue stumbles in Fatiha, pause, gather the verse, repeat the line properly, then move on. If you blank on the second surah, do not stand frozen in shame. Choose a shorter surah you know, or recite a few clear verses you have memorized. The prayer is not a stage. It is submission. Order defends you. Calm carries you. A practical strategy for the next 7 mornings: pre-choose 2 short surahs for FAJR and keep them constant all week. No auditions at dawn. When the time comes, your mind will not rummage. it will execute. That is how you turn clarity into peace. You are not proving brilliance. You are building obedience. The Prophet taught us excellence through simplicity and consistency. Follow that pattern, and your heart will soften because your brain is no longer firefighting. Here is a micro scene for your memory. You stand. Allahu Akbar. You settle. Right over left. Presence in your chest. Fatiha first. Every verse a key in a lock. Then your chosen surah. Short, clean, sincere. No shortcuts. No show. Only order. And if a tremor hits your thoughts, do not let fear steer your tongue. Guard your mind like a warrior. Speak like a servant who knows the sequence. Clarity and order creates calm in the heart. This is how Rak'ah 1 begins, correctly, confidently, and without panic. Move now from recitation to Ruku with clarity. You do not dive. You transition. Say Allahu Akbar and bow with composure, hands settled on your knees, back steady, eyes toward the place of sujood. Stillness over speed, presence over performance. Never collapse into the bow. Arrive and settle. Let the body tell the mind, we have reached a checkpoint. In Ruku, glorify your Lord, tongue clear, heart low, then hold the posture with calm. Don't flutter, don't count anxiously. Let your breath anchor you. The whisper will say, hurry, move on. You answer, never rush. I complete this position with presence. Now, rise from Ruku to full standing. Don't skip this pillar. Come up with praise on your lips. Hear yourself rise, feel your spine stack, let your shoulders find level, and stand still long enough for your heart to catch up with your body. This is eye title, a place, not a blur on the way to the floor. Only after you are upright, composed, do you move again. Fixed chain, no rearrangement. Bow to rise to then sujood. If your knees bend early because anxiety yanks you forward, arrest the motion, stand fully, and proceed, calmly. Order is your safety. Now go to sujood with Allahu Akbar, lowering with dignity, placing yourself on the ground with intention, forehead and nose rooted, palms firm, knees down, toes alive and pointing forward. This is the lowest place and the highest peace. Glorify your Lord here, soft, sincere, and be still. Then you sit between the two prostrations, always sit, hands resting on your thighs, back composed, breath steady, ask with humility. Then return to sujood a second time. Yes, 2 prostrations. Finish it with the same clarity and stillness. This triad never changes. Sujood, sit, sujood. No guessing, no new inventions. You are walking a known path. This is where the battle of the mind intensifies. Doubt whispers, you forgot something back in standing. Maybe you skipped a verse. Start over. Faith declares, I am past that gate. I will follow the order calmly. Doubt insists, did you say enough, Tasbih? Was your back flat enough? Answer it with authority. My duty is stillness with sincerity, not panic with perfectionism. If you mistakenly rise for the next rak'ah after only 1 sujood and realize it, do not explode in shame. Sit, complete the second sujood, and continue. Panic breaks confidence, calm correction restores it. Mark the end of Rak'ah 1 with obedience, not drama. After the second sujood, you do not sit for Tashahud yet. You stand for Rak'ah 2 with Allahu Akbar. No extra pieces, no freezing, no bargaining with fear. Just move forward in sequence. Picture the chain clicking in your hand like prayer beads. Bow, rise, sujood, sit, sujood, stand. Each click is a decision to submit, to trust the map, to guard your mind like a warrior. Movement in prayer is not random. It is a fixed order that trains your mind to lay down anxiety and pick up peace every single dawn. Now you are standing for Rak'ah 2. No reinvention, no negotiation. Same pattern, stronger focus. Say Allahu Akbar. Settle your stance. Place your hands with composure. Quiet your chest. Fatiha first. Always Fatiha. Every verse lands like a seal on your heart. Then add another surah or a set of clear verses. Keep it simple if you are building confidence. Choose what your tongue holds without strain. You are not performing for the dawn. You are submitting in order. When recitation is complete, bow into Ruku with Allahu Akbar. Arrive, glorify, and be still. Rise to full standing. Don't blur this pillar. Let your spine stack, your shoulders level, your breath even. Then descend to Sujood with dignity. Place your 7 points. Be present. Sit between the 2 prostrations with calm, and return to Sujood a second time. The chain has not changed. Stand, recite, bow, rise, Sujood, sit, Sujood. This is lap 2 on the same track. Now hear me with authority. Do not sprint at the sight of the finish line. Beginners lose more peace in the last 30 seconds than in the first 3 minutes. Never rush at the end and lose what you built at the start. Anxiety will whisper, "Quick, close it out. You're almost there." Answer it with authority. Order to the last breath. Presence to the last word. Your job is not speed. Your job is sequence with sincerity. Here is the one decisive difference. After the second sujood of Rak'ah 2, you do not stand again. You sit. Let the body announce the shift. Fold into the sitting posture with dignity, hands resting on your thighs, back composed, gaze low. Then begin the Tashahud. If you know it fully, recite it with a settled heart. If you only know a portion, do not panic or improvise a substitute sentence. Recite clearly what you have learned, keep the order, sit Tashahud, then conclude, and commit outside the prayer to learn the rest line by line. Alignment is learned in practice and sealed in preparation. Never treat ignorance with theatrics. Treat it with training. Guard your mind here. Doubt will hiss. Say Salam now, you're done. Faith declares, not yet. I will sit. I will testify. I will complete properly. If in a moment of habit you start to rise after the second sujood, arrest the motion, return to sitting, and proceed with Tashahud, calmly. Panic breaks confidence. Calm correction restores it. If you realize after bowing that you forgot the extra verses after Fatiha, do not tear the prayer apart. Continue the sequence with composure. Order is your safety. From Tashahud, you will complete the prayer with Salam. Ending is also an order, not a feeling. We will close deliberately, not emotionally. Words in place, head and heart aligned. Stay present. Stay precise. Rak'ah 2 repeats the same chain. Then you sit for Tashahud before ending. That clarity is your peace. That order is your confidence. From Tashahud, you finish with Salam, clear, deliberate, complete. Turn your head gently to the right and say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Do not rush. Let the words be full, not swallowed. Then turn to the left and repeat, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That is the exit. The door you entered with Takbir is the door you leave with Salam. Do not add inventions. Do not clip the words. Finish like you started, with order, with presence, with sincerity. And when the Salam is given, remain one heartbeat in stillness. Breathe. Let the calm seal. Then move. Now listen with clarity. Worship doesn't end when you finish. After you pray, your job is to protect what you received. The most common theft happens in the first 60 seconds after Salam. You rise, and the whisper starts a courtroom in your mind. Did I mess up? Did I skip a verse? Was my back flat enough in Ruku? Did I sit long enough between Sujoods? That spiral is how confidence gets stolen day after day. Doubt is not harmless. It is a stance that drags you back into the storm you just left. It's like planting a seed at dawn and then digging it up to check if it's growing. Stop digging. Guard your mind like a warrior. Answer the whisper with authority. Faith declares, I followed the map. If correction is required, I will apply it with knowledge, not panic. Doubt whispers, you probably ruined it. You answer, order is my safety. Panic is not my teacher. Open your mouth right now and settle your heart with this declaration. Allah sees my effort. I prayed with sincerity. I will keep learning with calm. Say it again until your chest believes it. That is not denial. That is stewardship. You exchanged anxiety for peace inside the prayer. Do not snatch your burden back after Salam like a traveler who checks in a heavy suitcase, then insists on carrying it to the gate. Stewardship looks practical. Do not sprint into distraction the second you finish. Sit a moment. Make your known adhkar if you have them, or simply breathe gratitude. Alhamdulillah for guidance and order. If a real issue comes to mind, something concrete, not a foggy fear, write it down for study outside the prayer. Train outside, worship simply inside. Never let panic be your mufti. You are building a life, not passing an exam with a stopwatch. Clarity, then calm, then consistent training. That is how peace becomes your normal. And hear this bridge with peace. Now that you know the ideal order from Takbir to Salam, we will walk through the most common what-ifs without anxiety. What if you forgot the second surah? What if you stood when you should have sat? What if your mind blanked mid-verse? There are rules. There are recoveries. We will not tear down your confidence. We will anchor it with calm correction. Ending with Salam completes the ritual, but guarding your mind afterward protects your confidence. Stay in this posture of order. We are about to turn confusion into clarity and panic into a practiced, peaceful response. Let's expose the 4 shadows that try to steal your dawn. You lose track. Am I in Rak'ah 1 or 2? You mix positions. Stand when you should sit, or sit when you should stand. You skip a sujood without noticing. Your mind blanks during recitation, and shame tries to choke your voice. Hear the rule with authority. Mistakes don't have to break your prayer. Panic breaks confidence. Calm correction restores it. Never restart out of shame. Never turn confusion into self-punishment. Answer the whisper with order. Here is your recovery framework, simple and firm. Pause, breathe, return to the last step you are sure about, and continue the chain in order. That's it. Not dramatic, not noisy. Precision over panic. Doubt is loud. Certainty is steady. Build on what you know you did, not what you fear you missed. If you lose your place and don't know whether you are in Rak'ah 1 or 2, choose certainty over doubt. Default to the lower number. If you are torn between 1 or 2, treat it as 1. Continue the sequence from there. Do not argue with yourself. Do not restart to be safe. Safety is in the rule. Finish that rak'ah, complete the next, then sit for Tashahud and give Salam, calmly. Afterward, train a simple anchor to help your mind. Pre-assign a different short surah for each rak'ah this week, so your memory has a marker. Lap 1 has this recitation. Lap 2 has that. You are not forcing brilliance. You are organizing your focus. If you mix positions, correct without drama. If in Rak'ah 1 you dropped into a brief sit after the second sujood as if to do Tashahud, rise and continue to standing. No Tashahud in Rak'ah 1. If in Rak'ah 2 you start to stand after the second sujood out of habit, arrest the motion, return to the sitting posture, and complete Tashahud. If you bowed and felt your knees bending toward the floor before fully rising, stop, stand upright, then descend in order. Never let shame rush you. Order is your safety. If you realize you skipped a sujood, apply the chain calmly. If you are still within that rak'ah, between the two prostrations or just after rising, return, perform the missing sujood, sit briefly, then complete the second sujood if needed, and continue. If you stood into the next standing and then remembered, return to complete what was missed, then pick up the sequence from there. The map has room for recovery. Your heart must have room for calm. If your mind blanks during recitation, separate Fatiha from the extra verses. Fatiha is first and non-negotiable. Pause, gather the line, repeat it properly, then move on. For the extra surah, if the page in your mind goes white, don't freeze. Select a shorter surah you know or proceed to Ruku. Your prayer is not a performance, it is submission in order. Declare this rule into your thoughts, certainty over doubt. If you're unsure whether you completed 1 or 2 sujoods, assume 1 and complete the second. If you're unsure whether you recited Fatiha, recite it. If you're unsure which rak'ah you're in, count the lower. Then proceed, calmly, precisely, without punishing yourself. Normalize learning. Mastery is not a mood, it is repetition with obedience. You are training a sequence into muscle memory, quietly, daily, patiently. Never restart out of shame. Never call panic your teacher. Open your mouth and say it. I pause. I breathe. I return to what is certain. I continue the chain in order. My peace remains. Guard your mind like a warrior, and your dawn will grow strong under the protection of clarity. Here is how we turn clarity into confidence in 1 week. Not theory, practice, not guessing, order. Consistency turns the FAJR sequence into muscle memory. Your peace grows as your order becomes automatic. Day 1 to 2. Preparation and the doorway. Tonight, align your life with your intention. Sleep earlier. Set 2 alarms. Place your phone far enough that you must stand to silence it. Lay out clean clothing. Place a water bottle near the sink for wudu. Mark your qibla. Choose your clean spot. When FAJR enters, do not negotiate. Walk the non-negotiables. Time, wudu, covering, qibla, clean place, intention. Then enter deliberately. Raise your hands and say Allahu Akbar. Stand still long enough to feel the door close behind you. 10 breaths of presence. No rush. Your assignment for these 2 days is simple excellence at the start line. Day 3 to 4. Standing recitation. Fatiha first, then another surah. Pre-choose 2 short surahs for the whole week. No auditions at dawn. In Qiyam, recite Al-Fatiha clearly, then your chosen surah. If your tongue slips, correct calmly and continue. If your mind blanks on the extra verses, select the other short surah or proceed to Ruku. Guard your mind like a warrior. I follow order. I do not freeze. After you pray, do not grade yourself with fear. We are planting seeds. Day 5. The movement chain. Bow with Allahu Akbar, arrive and be still. Rise fully, hold a title, then descend to sujood, sit, sujood. Say it out loud before you sleep and when you wake. Bow to rise to sujood, to sit to sujood. Walk that chain with dignity. If a knee bends early, stand upright, then descend, calmly. Order is your safety. Day 6. Tashahud, and Salam. Finishing like you started. After the second sujood of Rak'ah 2, sit. Recite what you know of Tashahud with presence, then give salam to the right and to the left, full and clear. Never sprint at the finish line. Presence to the last word. Day 7. Full run-through. 2 rak'ahs from Takbir to Salam with steady breath and guarded thoughts. Today is not about speed, it is about sequence with sincerity. When the whisper tries to sabotage, answer, I know the map. I stay calm. I move in order. Now hear the stewardship that locks this in. Every correct repetition is a seed. Do not dig it up with constant self-accusation after you pray. After Salam, write one small line in a notebook or on your phone. I completed the order calmly today. If you adjusted mid-prayer, note it with gratitude. I realized and corrected. Peace remained. This is how you retrain your mind toward gratitude, not fear, toward facts, not fog. Alignment proves intention. Go to bed earlier. Set the alarms. Remove morning distractions. Pre-assign your surahs. Prepare your place. Your life must match your prayer. Faith declares, my dawn is ordered. Doubt whispers, you'll forget again. Answer it with authority. I am building muscle memory. I am consistent. I am calm. End this week by moving from private learning to public declaration. Tell a trusted friend, I am following a FAJR map for 7 days. Place the sentence on your mirror. Clarity at dawn is my new normal. Open your mouth and say it now. Allah sees my effort. I pray in order. My peace remains. Commit and watch confidence take root with every sunrise. Now we close with authority. You are not a guessing believer. You are a learning believer, calm, steady, improving. Your dawn is no longer a battlefield of fog. It is a track with markers you know by heart. Say this with me. I choose order over panic. I follow the map. My peace remains. Here is your final run-through. You can replay like a mental script. Before you stand, confirm the time, make wudu, cover properly, face the qibla, choose a clean place, set your intention. Now enter. Raise your hands, say Allahu Akbar, settle your stance. Rak'ah 1, standing. Al-Fatiha first, then another surah. Move with Allahu Akbar to Ruku, arrive and be still. Rise fully to I'tidal with praise, upright, composed. Descend to Sujood, sit between the 2 prostrations, return to Sujood, calm and clear. Stand for Rak'ah 2, same pattern, stronger focus. Fatiha, then another surah, Ruku. Rise, Sujood. Sit, Sujood. Now sit, do not stand. Recite Tashahud with presence. Finish with Salam to the right and to the left. Full, deliberate, complete. After you pray, guard your mind like a warrior. No digging up seeds, only gratitude, brief adhkar, and, if needed, a note to train later. That is the map. That is your peace. Listen to the contrast that matters. Doubt whispers, you'll forget again. Faith declares, order is my safety, and I am building muscle memory. Doubt nags, you probably ruined it. Answer it with authority. I corrected calmly. I continued the chain. My Lord sees my effort. Prayer does not end when you give salam. Stewardship begins. Protect what you received. Make a public declaration to anchor your identity. Write this exact sentence where others can see it. I will pray FAJR in order with confidence. Post it. Text it to your accountability partner. Speak it out loud before you sleep and when you rise. Declarations train your mind to stop negotiating and start obeying. Turn your clarity into a mission. Share this teaching with a new Muslim. with a friend who is anxious about prayer order, with anyone who is waking at dawn but drowning in fog. Do not keep the map to yourself. Hand it to someone who is tired of guessing. Your share could be the difference between another month of confusion and a week that births confidence. And if this word has steadied your heart, stay in the journey with us. Subscribe and keep growing. Steady lessons, clear maps, calm corrections. Not hype, not noise, discipleship. We will keep walking in order until clarity is your reflex and peace is your normal. Open your mouth and seal it now. Clarity is my decision. Order is my path. Confidence at FAJR is my new normal. Breathe. Believe. Walk the map at dawn, again tomorrow and again after that, until your mind bows as naturally as your body.